Boom! Welcome to Boom Thursdays. And oh my God, do we have something good for you today? Jamie, this was your recommendation to do. And Jamie, you took over the Mighty Morphin series for
Yes, I
Boom
did.
Studios, and you put me on the task of reading Power Rangers. And holy smokes, I'm so glad you did because we have got a lot to talk about as far as the new issues for both series, for Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. Issue 13, I believe, for yours, and it's definitely issue 13 for mine. Is that right?
Yeah, respectively, both are at issue 13. And what an issue did I read? Now, guys, me and Tim have this split. We both haven't read each other's respective titles yet. So going into this review, we wanted to do something a little bit different. We came in not knowing what's going on in either one of our review, like our storylines.
I have
And
no idea what's
oh,
going on in Mighty Morphin, and he has no idea what's going on in Power Rangers. So we're bringing it all together for you today.
but I will say it's past morphin time. Like it's the
It's
way this is going.
intense.
I'm at the edge of my seat reading these, and it's been a long time since I've been in that kind of a climate where I'm literally waiting for the next issue to come out.
Right? Oh, okay.
It,
So before we go into it, what is the big storyline that's going on right now? It's the Eltarian War. Is that
yeah,
right?
yes, and a lot of this is from what I've read in Mighty Morphin. A lot of this is leading up to this point. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how where you're at in yours, but my respective team basically comes off of the original Mighty Morphin, like later in the season Power Rangers. So
Yeah.
you have Tommy, Rocky, Aisha, Billy, Adam, and Kimberly. The Green Ranger was gone supposedly. Draken was locked away in a cell.
Mm-hmm.
If for anybody that's read the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers by Higgins before this, he was locked away. He escapes in my title. Don't know what's going on
Yeah.
with him. And there's this new Green Ranger, which guys, if you have not seen what this new Green Ranger suit looks like, it even they say in the book, like how do I get that suit? Like most of them are just like, how do I look like you?
Yeah. No
And,
kidding.
and it's like basically there's a new Green Ranger. Lord Zed is incapacitated at the moment. He comes back with the chaos energy. It is just wreaking havoc. He fuses the chaos energy with the putties, making chaos putties, ones that can fly, ones that can just demolish anybody. There isn't no one punch to the chest done. This is literally like a full on length movie against the putties. Especially there's one called the Putty Prime, which they needed the Megazords for, and he tore the Megazords apart.
Oh my God.
So they so basically in the series, right, leading up to the Eltarian War, we find out who the Green Ranger is. He is the new love interest of Kimberly, named Matthew Cook. He's
Mm-hmm.
working for a company named Promethea. Um,
Okay, that makes sense for what I was reading.
so Chelsea's running Promethea. Come to find out, Billy knows who the Green Ranger is the entire time. He's helping Promethea as they go along. The rest of the Rangers don't know this. Tommy hates Matthew because he's dating Kimberly. It's a big love triangle behind the scenes. And it's just this whole book encapsulates more of what I wanted as a child than I ever could imagine. The inner me is just screaming at the top of his lungs right now. I'm literally, me and Tim have had this conversation plenty of times throughout the week. I am rewatching all the Power Rangers show.
I wanted to text you all day today and tell you, dude, this is the Power Rangers that I wanted when I was a kid. And I couldn't do that because I was busy reading the issues.
And I felt like a kid again. Like it
Oh my
brought back
God.
those memories. And whatever Ryan Parrott's doing, he's writing amazing. Like if put it this way, if you guys are fans of anything other than Boom, which Boom's doing, I can't talk about Boom enough right now. Everything I've read so far has been a hit.
Oh yeah.
But if I could like compare his writing right now to anybody, if Chris Claremont was writing like this today, I would love everything that was in Marvel, everything that was in a different company. Like if That's the only person that I could bring to tie a name to,
Okay.
because every time I think back to the old days where it's this much dialogue, Claremont was doing that. But right now, he's doing it better.
Okay, so what's going on with issue 13? That's the big point right here. What happened in issue 13 that you read today?
So there's a lot. So to preface a little bit, a lot of the book goes from 10,000 years ago to current, and we're talking about the Supreme Guardians, and they were the Rangers of that time of Eltar, and Zordon was part of that crew.
Right.
Well, there's another character named Zardes who is still alive. He hasn't been. There's been enhancements. There's been all these issues that, like Zordon went through, where he's stuck in the tube, can't get out. It's keeping him alive, because of the energy. Zardes is still whole. Come to find out, Zardes was looking over Earth to bring them as allies. That is not the case. He secretly, come to find out, is working side by side with Lord Zed.
Oh my God, that makes sense.
The beginning of this book opens up with Zed. I can't even talk. I'm just so excited about it. Eltar standing in front of Zordon's tube, broken, shattered, and gone. Zordon is no longer there.
Yeah, he's toast.
Gone. Now, going into the issue even more, we find out he's working with Zed, and Zed literally tells him, "You're not taking the Power Rangers out by yourself." And Zotar literally looks at him and goes, "Well, if you're going to be in my way, I'm taking you out too. We might be working together, but we won't be if you're in my way."
Jeez.
And now Zed is working with his team to come up with a plan to stop the Rangers. Well, Zotar is trying to take all the power coins away from him, so that way he can collect everything and destroy everything in his path. So little did we know that Billy is still in the headquarters looking for Alpha. Billy is keeping, or they found, or the other Rangers are split up due to them, like Zotar and all them, trying to deviate them from one another, so that way they can divide and conquer rather than fight them all at once. They come back together, figure out what's going on, but then Chelsea walks in and basically tells them, "This is my show now. Zordon's gone. You're going to listen to me if you want to win." And then there's a whole crew of Eltarians sitting out back. She goes, "If you want to walk out there, you can die." And Billy's still with Alpha. Billy's trying to explain to Alpha that there's this little fragment of Zordon still left.
Yeah.
Tiny, tiny bit. And he gets shot in the back. Alpha freaks out because he doesn't know what's going on, turns around, and I'm pretty sure it's the Imperials of the Guardians for the Eltars that took him out, and basically said, "If you don't want to be melted, you step away right now." And that's basically the issue, in a nutshell. And dude, every page, I am telling you, Tim, every page was a cliffhanger.
Okay, so for writing, what do you give a writing? 1 to 10. What
10.
do you give that? 10. All right. And then artwork.
Perfect.
What do you give for artwork?
Ooh, I don't want to 9.7.
9.7. Okay.
There's some things I would change. There's only one thing about the whole artwork is I don't like the way Zordon's drawn. I don't know why. Inside, when you look at the old Power Rangers, you see Zordon, and this guy looks like a sleeker. Zordon's been working out, bro.
Right.
That's his face.
Okay. So
just his face has been working out.
So writing gets a solid 10 all the way through, and artwork gets a 9.7, and that's for Mighty Morphin number 13. Well, let me go ahead and tell you about the end of the world with Power Rangers.
Go ahead.
So, okay. So with Power Rangers, I did a super read today of everything up to 13, and let me tell you something, man. I could not stop. I had to stop for certain reasons, but once I got back home, by God, it was a rush, and it was a good rush to finish through up until where we're at right now. So where you're working with the major team, I'm working with a smaller team, the Omega Rangers, and that is Jason, Trini, and Zach. And they have this robot that's with them called Z, Xi, Z or Xi. And they say they because there's no sex with robots. So, you know, it's a they, it's just a general term for them. But the three, yellow, red, and black, Jason, Trini, and Zach are all going into outer space, and they're dealing with this thing called the Imperial. And what the Imperial is it's this creation that destroyed one of the emissaries, the blue one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So with each emissary that's destroyed, an ethereal, right? Imperial, I'm sorry, an Imperial is born. And it comes to find out that the other person that is of the same race as Zordon, I think it's Zoltar. Is that right?
Yeah, Zoltar.
Yeah, he's the one controlling them, and he's the one sending them out to destroy the emissaries. And the Rangers are trying to prevent these things from destroying planets. Like some of the planets they destroyed had little to no life. One planet that they destroyed that really put the Rangers through a loop had like tens of millions of lives. And this one Imperial is making its way to this planet, and this planet is home to billions of people. And this race is like a conqueror race. And Z is trying to tell him, you know, mathematically speaking, you know, with this planet being destroyed, it might not be such a bad thing because the universe would be a better place without him. But the thing is, like you said in your series where Draken escaped,
Mm-hmm.
my Omega Rangers broke him out and took him with him to try and stop. Of
course yours did.
Right? So they've got Draken with him, and Draken's trying to do all this manipulation and everything else to try and get the Rangers to turn against each other, but it's not working. And the thing that I saw most in this was where Jason was the de facto leader. It was really Trini that was doing a lot of the leading and a lot of the decision making and things like that. Like Jason had it mostly, and when it came to the major decisions, they reverted to him. Jason, you call it, man, what are we doing? And then he would say or whatever. But Trini, when it really came down to it, she turned out to be my favorite character in the whole series so far. I absolutely love what they've done with her, and she is an immensely powerful character as far as like emotion and stance and authority and things like that. She's wonderful, and I really, really love what they have done with her. But doing all of that, they're trying to stop this Imperial from destroying the planet. Well, they can't, and the planet gets destroyed. And then they eventually make their way to where the yellow emissary is, and Trini is trying as hard as she can to reach out to talk to it, because they're all on the morphing grid, right? And whenever they morph, the emissaries can feel it and they respond in such the way to let them morph. But there's a way for them to communicate with them too. And Trini's trying to do that. And Dakin is trying to manipulate her into being able to do that. Well, she eventually gets to talk to the yellow emissary. And I love what they did with this. The artwork, Francisco Motorino, his artwork is amazing. Absolutely wonderful. And to show the yellow emissary and with the transitions between each yellow ranger that's ever been in existence, and in each panel, it was like think of it like Rorschach's mask, where each panel you see his mask is something different. Well, that's the way it was with the emissary, and it was just constantly shifting and changing, and it was wonderful. And when they get there, the Imperials show up. There's two of them, and the whole reason they're there is because they need to get rid of this yellow emissary to bring forth the third and final Imperial. Well, guess what? Dakin's been working with Zoltar the whole time, and double crossed the Rangers and all this other stuff. And Z came out and he was like, I knew I should have killed you the second you step foot on this ship. And he's like, well, you had your chance then. You're never going to get it again. And Dakin just kicks the snot out of him and destroys him and all this stuff and leaves the Rangers to die on this planet that the Imperials have set to be destroyed. And the Imperials really remind me of Celestials in a sense, like what they do and what they can do and the whole reason for their existence.
Are they the same size and stature then?
The Imperials can change size. They go from
Okay.
really large to really small human size and things like that. But yeah, the Rangers are left to die here, but they end up being able to get to Earth somehow, some way. I'm not going to say how because you have to read it to really see it. But once they get there, the war is already started, right? And it just goes bananas from there. I mean, I can't even, my brain can't process what I read because I'm sitting there reading this and I'm texting you the whole time. I'm like, dude, some crazy stuff is going on here. Holy smokes. And it's just absolutely insane how Ryan is able to keep everything together and play it all out. I mean, like throughout the course from issue 1 to 13 where we're at now, I was totally invested, like 110%. I was invested in this story and I was invested in these characters. And even though I know the characters from before, these are not the characters I know from before. This is something totally different. And I love that fact. It's familiar yet very, very different. And I'm really into that. And it's like I told you before we got started. I think that this, at least in my opinion, could easily be said in a vote for myself to be the best series of the year. I think that's how good this stuff is being written. And
I gotta agree. I know it's definitely one of the top contenders for me. But real fast, I forgot to mention that the art for mine was done by Marco Renna. And like I said earlier, the artwork's amazing. It brings that it brings back all those memories. I'm trying to think of the right word here, but my brain's so blown from the series.
Well,
the nostalgia. It brings that nostalgia back. And dude, Renna just hits it right on the head with the art. And like you were alluding to, Ryan's just been killing it on his level. He brought so much from Higgins' run into this that I didn't realize. He's continuing a story, but better. Like I've never seen anyone continue a story and make it this well.
The thing that I am reminded the most of is you know the best DC animated movies, right? You know what I'm talking about? That's what this feels like. And it feels like a straight continuation story. Like when they did the DC animated universe, when they started there with Flashpoint and moved forward. Flashpoint was amazing. That's how this feels to me. It feels really, really good. And it's a series that I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Like I'm invested. This is already on my pull list, and Mighty Morphin's going to go on my pull list. I'm going to get my kids into this. This is something that my son's going to read, and he's going to be like, Dad, what in the heck am I reading here?
Right. He'll be calling me like, thank you for telling my dad to read this.
Jamie, what's going on? So yeah, with writing, I'm going to go right there with you, and I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. This across the board, 10 out of 10. And with the artwork for Power Rangers, that gets another 10 out of 10 for me too. I really love the work that he's doing here, that Francesco is doing, and I really enjoy his style. I think it fits very perfectly with the way that I would depict Power Rangers to be in comic book form. I really, really enjoy how fluid his character representation is. It's very solid from panel to panel. It's just wonderful. The action sequences are great. When the writing is done and you hear the heyas and this and that, it's all in there. And
even for me, the eyes with Alpha,
I
hear it and it's said so perfectly at the right time.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
But I gotta agree with you. Like the art's amazing. Renna, if you can hear me or if you even care, I just tweak his Zordon a little bit for me, and yeah, perfect 10, man. But hey,
He
9-7 is
can't
not
look
bad.
like a Venice beach.
He looks like he looks like Stonehenge if they actually dug down. But that's my
Okay,
only issue.
so collectively, I think it's safe to say that Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers collectively get a nice 9.8. I know you said 9.7 for artwork, but with
And this
my
rate
10 and
with
that
overall,
9.7,
just give it a perfect 10 for both.
a perfect
At this
10.
rate, I mean, I'm a nitpicker as it is on everything. If you guys watch any other shows, that we do, you'll understand. But I mean, if we took this as overall, both collectively, both pushed into each other, 13 issues in, so 26 issues for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
This is a 10 out of 10. Like, perfect.
Well, Boom Studios, you've got two guys here that are thirsty for more for the Eltarian Wars, and I am super excited to see where this goes and what happens with this. I mean, when Dakin did Black Dragon, I was like, what? Oh no. I knew it was coming.
Matthew Cook's progression as a Green Ranger is literally something to be amazed by.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like there's a part, and I didn't want to say too much into it, but there's a part in the story where basically Zed puts up a shield around Angel Grove and keeps it basically quarantined.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens within that quarantine, you would not be able to imagine. I wouldn't even be able to write it myself. Like, if I thought of it, I wouldn't know how to transcribe it into words. That's why I love this so much.
Oh, it also has to be said in Power Rangers, I think the seeds have been planted for a Jason and Trini romance somewhere in the future. There was like a page or two where it was like that, and then Jason was like, or Trini was like, Jason, what are you going on about, man? What's this all about? He's like, that never mind, don't worry about it. I was like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I get what's going on.
Right. Okay, so cool. Collectively, Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, 10 out of 10 all the way through. Boom Studios, you've got another hit on your hands. Guys, if this is something that's not in your poll list, now is the time to get into it. It is definitely a series worth reading. Jamie recommends, I recommend. So go ahead and check it out. Jamie, before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to say?
Guys, like I said, Boom is on its own new renaissance right now, and you guys need to check out what they're doing. Everything I've read so far by them has been a knockout home run. Whatever sports terminology you want to use, you can use it right here.
A touchdown and a home run and a grand slam.
He slid in the first and scored a touchdown. It was great. But guys, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for guys for being here. Throw some comments down below. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more of the content that we are putting out for you guys. And thank you for attending the second Boom Thursdays.
Right on. Once again, I am Tim with Codex. This is Jamie with Codex. You're watching Boom Thursdays. We'll see you next week.